We are going to review this book, Tribal India and Social Thought. This has two issues, Tribal India and Social Thought. Okay. Let me talk about the social thought first. Under social thought, I covered Indian anthropologists. Okay. Remember, this book is not like a comprehensive work on paper 2. This book fills gaps in Anthro 2 preparation. I found that we have a gap regarding Indian anthropologists. What students are doing is that they are just going by some material and memorizing 100 or 150 words on each thinker. They don't have an understanding of if a thinker holistically. They can't relate with other thinkers. They can't write in a way that a thinker is generalizable. Whereas the questions call for closer and critical understanding. So what I did was I noted down all the Indian anthropologists on which questions are coming, and then I have one book which has done this area very well. The book is this one. This is the book, Anthropology in the East. Okay. I took most of the thinkers from this book. Ananta Krishna Iyer and Colonial Ethnography, S.C. Roy, Elvin, N.K. Bose, Airavati Karve, S.C. Dubey, L.P. Vidyarthi from some other book. And Hemandar from magazine, EPW and other sources. So, I covered 9 anthropologists in an insightful way because this book is written well. Okay. So this is done in such a way that you have an insight and you can use this insight when you are writing answers at other places and also answering questions on these thinkers. Okay, there are many questions asked on these thinkers, though in 2020 there are no questions. Okay, so questions on colonial ethnography, fieldwork methods, and in 2020 there is a question on how contemporary anthropology methods changed. And to answer that question, you can include some of the anthropologists like Elvin to write about how contemporary anthropological data gathering and writing changed. So, you don't have to memorize a few words and do cut and paste in the exam. You can have a good understanding of 9 anthropologists covered in this book, which is comprehensive understanding of Indian anthropological thought. That is one. And next is about tribal India. Regarding tribal India, again, this is not comprehensive. I found there are some gaps in tribal India. A student needs to do certain profiles. Okay, what students are doing is that They go by topic. They go by topic, and they know few points about the topic. They may quote a particular tribe, but they know very little about the tribe. In my approach, if you know profiles in detail, okay, you can use these profiles in variety of your answers. And in this book, I covered profiles, around 10 profiles. So these profiles can be used in at variety of places in your answers. It's like this. These are the profiles. Okay. Biror, shifting cultivation, Gadi, Great Andamanis, Jarva, Santnelli, Soan, Shompen. Lakshadweep Muslims. I covered Andaman Nicobar Islands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 societies I covered. And then in paper 1 and paper 2, questions on shifting cultivation, pastoralism, hunting gathering are being asked. So Biror is a case of hunting gathering, covered shifting cultivation, and Gadi as pastoralists. So these 3 lessons are useful for economy part, and these are in general. So I wanted the student to make use of these profiles in the answers. So that is one. So 10 profiles covered. And then another problem I found is that there is not much of data regarding Northeast, and also the issue of ethnicity. So there are many questions on ethnicity, and very little is covered on the issues related to Northeast. So in this book, I covered many Northeastern issues. Naga people, Manipur, Bodo, Mizo. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 societies. Okay. And I covered some political concepts. So, see, tribes in India or Central Indian tribes is one, Northeast, and Andaman Nicobar Islands. Okay, so in this book I covered Northeast and Andaman Nicobar Islands. Okay, Northeast is used for ethnicity related issues. So ethnic movements, ethnicity, social movements, decentralization. So I thought this book fills the gap on the issues related to Northeast. Okay, that is another thing I did. Northeast and this all selection I covered. And regarding the main part, I covered certain conceptual issues related to tribes. Concept of tribe, how tribe is different from an indigenous group, or how tribe is a colonial construct, tribe caste continuum, things like that. 5th and 6th schedule I covered is a very popular topic. And then development-led displacement, FRA, PESA, Maui situation, tribal subplan, and PVTG. Okay, these are the topics I covered regarding tribal issues. Okay, and I used, apart from this book for thought, I used EPW magazine and also various sources from JSTOR. JSTOR is a collection of various articles from various journals. So these are my sources. Okay. So this is how I wrote. These topics are spread across many areas in anthropology syllabus. For example, in anthro syllabus 3.2 tribe caste continuum, sacred complex, growth of anthropology, travel situation and problems of travel communities, 6.3 concepts, 7.2, 7.3, 8.1, 9.1, 9.2, 9.3. So what I covered is spread across many chapters. It is not that I did any chapter in detail, but these issues I covered are spread across many chapters in the syllabus. Okay. So now we can see for in answering how many for how many marks this book may have been useful going by 2020 paper. In anthropology in 2022, in answering 95 marks, this book is useful. Explain the impact of Hinduism in tribal people. Okay, because this gives the concept of tribe caste continuum, the link between how tribe becomes caste. So this question can be answered. Concept of ethnicity, impact of development induced displacement among the tribal people, various provisions of sixth schedule, regionalism and demand for autonomy in India from anthropological perspective with respect to, okay, book partly covers problems of land alienation among the tribals. Okay, so 95 marks, though not a single question on 9 anthropologies we covered. So in fact, that is a rare thing. So I think this book for anthropology students is useful in answering, I think, more than 100 plus marks in paper 2. Okay. So I would say, to summarize, that the contents of this book are relevant across the chapters and useful for 100 plus marks in paper 2, and useful for ethnographic profiles, Northeast and Andaman Nicobar Islands, and anthropologists. Okay, so that is my conclusion. Now coming to sociology. In sociology, wherever this ethnicity race is mentioned, in paper 1 is mentioned, and then in paper 2, tribal communities, ethnicity and identity, crisis of development and displacement, ethnic conflict. So, and I covered civil society and social movements also. So basically, for social students, this book is useful to cover ethnicity and race. Okay. But direct questions are few. Take for example, 2020 paper. Explain the definitional problems concerning tribal communities. This book helps. Examine the colonial policy of segregation of tribes under government of India, 1935. This book helps. But my approach in sociology regarding tribal India is different. See, I take tribal India for socio students. I take tribal India is useful because I take tribal India as a dimension in your answer. As a dimension. So because I take question like this: caste as a dimension, gender as a dimension, religion as a dimension, and tribe as a dimension, class as a dimension, like this, tribe as a dimension. So in many places, I want students to consider tribe as a dimension and answer. For example, analyze the issues related to citizenship in contemporary India. How is tribal India related to citizenship? A tribal India is discriminated India, inequality of citizenship. That's how I link the question. And the consequences and remedies of chronic malnutrition. Chronic malnutrition is there among the tribes. And what do you understand by democratic federalism? How does it promote decentralization? What is happening to Northeast and lack of autonomy? And what are the constitutional safeguards and what it is supposed to do? And examine how social movements come to an end. We write about how Mizo movement came to an end. So how Naga movement is an example of movement. So I take tribal India as a dimension of sociology. Okay, though directly what is coming under ethnicity and tribe is a direct question, but all other topics I think are indirectly useful. So this is how I look at this book. So I don't claim this to be a comprehensive work on anything, but some like a gap filler for Anthropology Paper 2 and useful even for social students. Okay. But of course, in my next edition, I will comprehensively update tribal India part. You don't have to wait for that though.